there guys, how's it going? It's been a while. Well, it's not been a long while. I took a little bit of time off because of Thanksgiving and all the crazy holiday stuff that is coming along with it. It's getting close to that time period where everybody is lovey-dovey to each other and you're wondering why you're not in a relationship. Don't worry, you're not alone. I'm with you. Sadly. The thing is I'm going to talk about today is why do relationships not work in this day and age? Now, I'm not talking about all relationships. There are some relationships that found their groove, found their niche, and they have worked with it. They have grown with it. But there are some relationships that just don't work. I can give you a couple of steps. I can give you a couple of hints and tidbits because I personally have dealt with this before, and I, no secret, have fallen more or less for the same kind of traps that everybody else has fallen for in relationships, breaking them up quickly than usual. Let's go ahead and talk about this. The problem is with most relationships nowadays is that a lot of relationships feel like they have to be perfect as soon as they start. That's not necessarily the case, but a lot of people wish it was. A lot of people complain that it's a lot of hard work and you gotta put time and effort. But the thing is, if you actually think about this, anything you want to be good at, anything in your life, video games, singing, acting, music, writing, creating art or anything, don't you have to put a lot of time into it? It's just not gonna be perfect overnight. You're just not gonna be one and done and then boom, you're gonna fail over and over and over again. And that's with people as well. People are sometimes the most hard to understand, but at the same time, if you put the effort and you actually put the time into it, you'll actually find something very rewarding. Another problem I've seen with a lot of modern day relationships and a lot of modern day people talking about relationships is that as soon as they find the first thing wrong with the person, they're out. They'd rather not try to figure it out. They'd rather just be like, she's got that wrong with her, or he's got that wrong with him. Can't do it. They rather not try to see where it could go, where it could potentially take off in a direction that it could be something magical. You never know. That could have been your soulmate you just passed by, but because they had some malformed defect that you just, I don't want to deal with it. Which is really quite a shame because I think there's a lot of potential out there to find somebody that, you know, you could fall in love with. But I understand at the same time people like to be picky and everything. You shouldn't just fall for settle because reasons. But at the same time, give that person a chance. At least give it a chance before you decide, this person's not for me. Another big thing is technology. Technology has made things easier and worse for relationships. Basically what I am saying, you can immediately go to OkCupid or Tinder or Plenty of Fish if something's not working out and start searching a plethora of people on these sites to talk to, which is a bad thing. Coming from experience, this is a bad thing. Once again, I'm not perfect and I would never claim to be perfect. I make these videos to learn how to talk to myself, but everything around.
Have I interrupted?
You have.
Fantastic.
Good.
Are you going to edit around my interruption?
Problem.
No, leave it in. It adds character.
Sweet. Oh, I've made these mistakes. I've made these kind of errors or anything like that. And I know that these can be problematic. I know that it's probably better to actually talk with your partner than anything than try to jump ship immediately and fuck everything up. Taking advice from a little weird sage here. Next step is communication. Communication is probably one of the most key important things ever that a lot of people do not want to focus on because they think everything is okay and they rather not talk it out and they just rather just sit there suffering and being miserable than actually sitting and actually communicating with their partner. Now, if you have tried to talk with your partner about these things, you've tried to communicate with them, and you've tried to explain to them what makes you uncomfortable and they still keep doing it, then it's probably time for you to move on. It's a sad but true fact. You have to not let yourself be tied down to a situation where you're always going to be hurt by that person. But a lot of people do because they'd rather be with someone than be alone. It's sad, but it's so true. Another big problem is social media. Social media has this way of showing a person's life in a very, not melancholy, but I don't know what the best word, but it shows the person's life in a very different way. And when you see that person's life in a very different way, you see how it should be perfect for you. You see how their relationships will be perfect for you. You see them smiling, laughing, kissing each other, holding each other tightly. But in reality, that couple may be 3 months from breaking up, or a week from breaking up, or 2 days from divorce. Not everything you see on the outside is always positive. And that's the truth of the matter. We have our own interesting interpretations of relationships, what we want and how we see it to be. I've learned from many failed attempts at relationships that I need to be more communicative, and I just need to know when to let my guards down. A big problem with a lot of people nowadays is that trust is a very hard thing because they have been burnt by so many people that they do not want to trust. They don't want to put their faith out there and hopefully to another person to understand what they are, because it is so much easier to build that wall than to trust people. Like with anything, it's always easier to tell a lie than tell the truth. It is, because if you tell a lie, you can just get on with your life and be done with it. But that lie may come back and bite you in the butt. If you tell the truth, maybe if there be people will be more upset, willing to accept you for what you are. And if they get pissed off at you, oh well, so what? That person's not meant for you. But these are the things I have personally noticed, I've personally seen out there with relationships, that we have a social media problem, we have a problem with communication, we have a problem with trying to make the perfect relationship, or it's supposed to be easy when it really is not supposed to be easy at all. A relationship is going to be tough, it's going to be hard. There are going to be good days, there are going to be bad days, there are going to be up days, there are going to be down days. There are going to be days where you're going to be wanting to strangle that person, and there are going to be days where you want nothing but to hear their sweet voice. And that's how it goes. And more and more in this day and age, we see that we want these kind of relationships. We think that these relationships are just going to magically fall in our laps. And that's not the case. You have to build something. You have to build trust. I'm very open about what I am. I really am. I have no secrets or qualms about how I live my lifestyle and what I live my lifestyle to. But I would not. I refuse to force my lifestyle on somebody else, because, like I said, with past experience, it has not gone well. So, for you out there, I want you to also take the words of this crazy man and take it to heart. When you go for these relationships, don't think it's gonna be easy. No, it's gonna be hard. Don't think it's gonna be, just a walk in the park. It's gonna be going through a hurricane. If something bothers you about that person, don't just immediately run. See if you can work something, figure it out. Don't just immediately go, oh, well, I'm done with this person. Social media, try to stay away from it when you're in a relationship. It's better, actually, if you stay away from it if you're in a relationship. Because what you're trying to do, you're trying to compare your life to another person's life, and that's not how it goes. Facebook is, once again, a cancer for that. You're trying to compare your life to somebody else's, and you see how much they're doing and what they're doing, and you're sitting there not doing anything, and you guys are both the same age. The thing is, that's not where your path is supposed to take you. Maybe down the road, you'll be doing that same thing that person's doing now. You don't know. That's the same with relationships. Maybe their relationship isn't as pretty as it looks, and your relationship is going to look as beautiful as ever, knowing that you have building with strength and communication and all that. Communication is a big key. Please communicate with your partner. Tell them about your feelings. Tell them about how you're feeling in the day. Tell them about everything that is possibly going wrong with your life. I mean, you don't have to tell them about everything, but you at least try to keep them in the loop. Another big one, like I said just before, trust. Trust is hard. It is. This is another one case of easy to hard scale. Trust is a very, very, very big part of everything. If you want to trust your partner, you gotta let down your walls. And I know it's hard. Trust me. I have problems with it myself, but you have to let them down. You have to be more open with your situation with them to really understand what's going on. So, those are my helpful advice tips. I hope you take them in. If you don't, you don't, whatever. But I hope you have a great rest of your holiday. I know holiday season can be tough, and I'll make a video about that later. You know, how I've been able to deal with it over the past couple of years. And reach out to someone, talk to someone. Make sure you're known. Make sure you can tell them that you are there. Because we love you, we all love you. Don't think you're low, because you're not. Alright, so once again, keep your head above water, keep your dreams alive. I will talk to you later. Alright, bye-bye.